But let's see. It's been 2 weeks. So what happened last time, if you guys recall, you had basically finished up your business at the old chateau, and you had left the forest with Lyndon in tow. You had you had gotten out of the forest without much incident, and you are now at this bridge where you met I want to say familiar face, because his face isn't familiar, but a familiar person or personality, and someone or multiple someones grabbed hold and wouldn't let go. So,
Listen, right?
so he roped you into a bunch of or a battle with a bunch of fishermen and himself, where there were just billions of Magikarp, some of which are still swarming chance at the moment. But in the end, under the cover of the smokescreen, he almost got away unseen, but Esme's spidey sense was tingling. But unfortunately, he was also wearing a tear-off cloak. So Esme now has pieces of a cloak, and the Magikarp salesman is nowhere to be seen.
Anyone who's a good person doesn't think they need a tearaway cloak. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Exactly. Also, my coffee is here. BRB.
No problem. Hey, he's gonna try to sell you that next time. You've already seen how handy it can be.
I just don't understand why this guy's considered a villain.
Yes,
I
Mag.
get
Yes,
it.
yes, and.
I think at this point it's more of a personal vendetta rather than a full-blown villain. But I mean, there were reasons for it, even if they are, relatively minor in the grand scheme of things.
It's like he is providing a valuable service with a slight upcharge of providing a good that you would normally get in a Pokemart out in the wilderness, and he's only charging like 10% more. And it's like, this is ridiculous. This is unjust. I have to solve this great evil of slightly upcharge.
But what if he told you that upcharge was actually tax?
Right, exactly. Like if it was any other slight difference in context, it would be like no change in. There would be no villainy whatsoever.
It's the what's the word I'm looking for? It's a sucker tax for grade A suckers like yourself.
Like I actually want this guy to be like a full blown villain, because like it would make him more compelling. But instead, he's just like a dude that sells stuff, and we turned him into a villain. It's like if we just like randomly assaulted a Pokemart guy and it's accused him of being a bad guy.
I mean, if you want him to steal babies, I can make him do that. That's how he funds his traveling. But anyway, that's basically where you left off. Yeah. On music.
All right. So if I recall correctly, we didn't have a particular objective at this moment. Like, other than getting to the next town and continuing our gym run, like, we don't have an overarching objective at the moment.
Correct. I believe that is the case.
Okay. And when did I start getting swarmed by Magikarp? When did this happen? I don't remember this at all.
At the very end. It was more of a joke than anything.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't remember this.
Like, they haven't even, because the guy didn't run out of Magikarp yet.
Oh, right. Yeah.
The other guy just ran away, so now you're left up against a bunch of fishermen with too much time and lots of Magikarps.
I pat the Magikarp. Try to appease it as best as possible before it begins its holy war.
They're kind of just, at this point, they're kind of just flopping around you for attention.
Always evolve at the most inopportune time.
Yes, well, I mean, is there ever an opportune time to be swamped by Magikarp?
Alright, so let's move on. gather Lyndon and meet at the end of the bridge.
Oh, I'm on GM mode.
Is this statue anything of significance?
Let's see. This one is a statue of a person, but I don't suppose they would, because mostly in Pokemon they have statues of Pokemon rather than people. If anything, I would say it might be, given its proximity, there might be a statue of one of the backlots here, basically saying, you know, their donations have been very valuable in the creation and maintenance of this route, basically.
Gotcha. Okay. And the backlots were the same family as the.
The ones that owned the old chateau.
Right. Okay. All right.
So they were basically very generous while they were staying here, and you know they still might be, but they're no longer in this area.
Okay.
No wait for Amber to get back. But I can put you on the map for now. So you're basically a little ways out of Eterna Forest.
Okay. I don't remember. What's the difference between blue and black?
Blue is the routes are a little less well established,
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
We have a
A
legend.
little
for
more
this.
rural.
a little rougher.
Lots of dogs.
Yeah. Although this particular part of the route is actually pretty well established, but there are parts of, so basically it's like an overall kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mostly Eterna is what makes this route blue. Or Eterna Forest, I should say.
No
Okay.
love for my pun.
I didn't hear your pun. What was
said-
it?
I heard it, but I didn't get it.
It's a little rougher. There's lots of dogs.
Oh.
My
Okay.
God, please.
I was not on that wavelength.
It
I
was
think I was speaking
exceptionally
over you.
bad, to be fair.
I think I was speaking over you when you made the joke.
Well, that would explain it.
Yeah. As I'm wont to do, because you never have anything worth listening to anyway.
Oh, shit.
Wow, Tom. You're getting dunked.
I am getting dunked.
All right, so we'll just keep making our way to Eternal.
Right, yeah. I am mostly waiting for Amber right now.
Beak.
Welcome
Beak.
back. I'm a bird. Alright, so you make your way to Eterna with Lyndon in tow, and it's basically the route itself is like what you saw in the previous map. It's mostly wide open with an occasional body of water kind of thing. And it seems that near the water, it's pretty popular with fishermen, though mostly the larger bodies. There are a few small ponds here or there as well, but those are... you see some Pokemon near them, but nothing... not as much attention from the people. It's just Pokemon like Poliwag, some bird Pokemon, and the occasional like squirrel, basically. But you do eventually make your way to Eterna City, and the first thing you notice is that while the city is actually quite large in terms of geography, like you can see it from a decent distance, the town itself seems to be pretty old-fashioned. You don't see a lot of tall buildings, and the smell is still pretty clear. as opposed to something like Jubilife, which, while there's not a ton of pollution or anything like that, it was still, you could smell the city basically.
I just remembered this is the city in the games where you first get access to the underground, right?
I think you get access to the underground much earlier, don't you?
I don't remember.
Like Warburg, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, although there are underground, like there is an underground access point here in the games at least. So, you are standing at the entrance of the city, and there's a sign to your north that just says "Welcome to Eterna City," and then there's another little part of it that's pointing to where you came that says Route 205.
This is a poker center.
It might be. It might also be a cardboard standee.
That's a bike rack, isn't it?
It is.
I thought that was.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're pretty badly hurt, and the Pokemon Center,
we're pretty banged up, so Pokemon Center is first stop.
and the Pokemon Center can also kind of act as a quest hub if there's anybody looking for trainer help or anything like that. So, so let's pop in there and see if we can get any.
Sure. When you are entering, you see there's like a couple of children standing by the counter. There is so the person who's usually behind the counter is actually standing in front of it, and she's explaining to the kids that she had seen a suspicious figure by the statue, and that she wasn't able to leave, but she would be very appreciative if they could go investigate for her. And all the children seem very excited, and they run out the entrance and start running off towards running off on the street.
This really?
Yeah.
She just sent a bunch of kids to go. Okay.
Yeah, and
To
they
go and
just go
talk
run
to a suspicious figure by a statue.
to investigate a suspicious figure.
Does the suspicious figure have a van with free candy on the side?
So, make me an intuition check.
Okay.
The only way that this is even remotely responsible is if she's feeding them a load of horse shit so that she can get them out of her hair.
That was exactly what I was thinking, yeah.
Or she's just like evil.
She's in cahoots with the van man.
Yeah, she's got a racket going.
You guys have such dark opinions of these things. Okay,
Ren,
so
please.
So let me make a.
Man.
Ooh, she's a good actor today, or actress. So she seemed quite serious when she was making the, telling the kids about this mysterious figure they should go investigate. But after they leave, she does stand up straight and walk back behind the counter as if nothing happened. As far as you can tell, she was being serious.
Ma'am, can you tell us a little bit more about this strange figure, please?
And she looks at Esme, it seems very briefly a little bit surprised, and she says, oh, for sure. There have been sightings of a mysterious old man and what sound like two henchmen, and they've been causing no end of trouble around the town. And I would say that any able-bodied young people like yourselves, it would be greatly appreciated if you could go investigate him for us. And she seems you can. Okay, so Esme, make me another intuition check.
Okay. Let me get. Come on, there you go.
Okay. So, she still seems to be telling the truth. However, you do notice that her whole speech basically is quite well practiced. She makes all the right facial expressions, and she seems worried when she mentions these mysterious figures. And then she kind of gets a determined look and when she's asking you to go help. It does seem very strange for a Pokemon Center clerk to be doing this, but
Lucas gives her the side eye and is like, "So it's an old bloke and two. Did you call them henchmen? Literal like big guys. Why are you sending kids? Just a question. Why? What?
And Meg, were you gonna say something?
I was just saying bouncers.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
Yeah. So she looks around briefly, and if you follow her gaze, you will see that there are a few older folks in the Pokemon Center, and they're kind of smiling for some reason. But there are no kids left in the Pokemon Center. And she leans forward a little bit and says to you in a low voice, I haven't seen you guys before. I think are you new in town?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
And,
shit! It's a surprise party, you guys.
Yeah, she says, I don't want to spoil anything, but it's perfectly safe, I assure you.
Sure.
It's kind of a regular event here.
Sure. Well, I'm here to heal up, so if we could do that, then that'd be great.
And she leans back and takes on her professional tone again, and she says, certainly, if you would just hand me your Pokeballs, I can do that for you.
Ding,
Yes,
ding,
please.
ding, 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 etc.
Exactly. When you get your Pokeballs back, there are 3 missing.
What?
No, you're good. You're healed. Your Pokemon are healed up.
You get only empty Pokeballs back.
Yes.
Itch.
But at least they're the same number of Pokeballs.
Fabulous. Okay.
Do we need to? I realize we should probably head over to the plaza and figure out whatever this event is. But do we want to register with the gym so that we can carve out a appointment slot?
Yes.
Sure, you can do
Go
that.
see them, I guess, first.
That probably wouldn't take very long, just to like nail down an appointment slot.
I think Lyndon's going to. So Lyndon's a little bit behind you, but because he's been taking a more leisurely pace. But he says he's going to stay in the Pokemon Center for a little while, to get Nectarna looked at.
Sure.
Okay.
Don't get lost again.
And he looks a little abashed and says, "I won't. I don't get lost."
You got lost
Lyndon.
last time.
Oh, a wizard always is exactly where he needs to be.
But all right,
Well,
if you want.
good luck, mate. And then Lucas will head towards the gym.
Can I give Lyndon a hug? I want to give Lyndon a hug.
You can certainly give Lyndon a hug. And he is, he is very satisfying to hug, and he hugs back, and is a very good hugger.
He's satisfying to hug.
There
Because he's so easily
um,
crushable.
His girth is approximately correct for someone to wrap their arms around.
Oh my.
Are you a human?
Esme is 16. His girth.
Are you a human?
His
Oh,
girth
no.
is
Subject's
approximately correct.
girth is approximately correct for huggitude.
That is what I
Commence.
said in more human
Commence
terms.
hug.
There's
Immense hug.
in another campaign that I'm in, and granted, there is some like evidence to make this less outlandish than it would seem, but there was an NPC that I was convinced for like 75% of the campaign that was actually a fairy in human disguise because of the way that the way that the DM played this particular NPC. And turns out I was wrong. He was like totally human the whole time. He was just eccentric.
Was he just single?
It wasn't Tingle. No. It was a guy named Wendell. And he acted like a complete scamp, like the whole time. Like he acted like your stereotypical Fae. Like just
I see, yeah.
yeah. I mean, and just everything about his character screamed that he was a fairy. And then he ended up being just a human. Like, the
Part
end
of
just
the
Weird,
reason.
okay.
hoodwinked me the whole game.
Okay, so this gym says the home of, or not the home of, this is the grass type gym of Eterna City. And on the sign in front, which I have not put in here myself, says Gardenia is the leader. And anyone who has been in the region for a while, I guess, can make me a general ed check.
Sure, I guess.
That's
My general
Lucas and
ed at
Amber
the moment.
and Esme, right?
Yeah.
Untrained. Boom.
Okay. So Esme is familiar. She's not like a super famous gym leader, but she has been around for a while. So you know, you might have heard some talk about her. So yeah, Gardenia has been here for quite a while. She started as a gym leader when she was considerably younger, so when she was roughly in her like early 20s kind of thing. And apparently she is still the gym leader here. The door opens when you get near, since they're automatic doors. You see that the gym is well lit, and there is basically a lot of greenery inside. The view to the the gym leader's pedestal is blocked by some of it, but there is a gym trainer standing by the entrance.
There's already a queue.
No. So like one of the people who are part of the gym.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
right,
gym
right.
trainer.
Yeah, not a challenger.
Yeah.
You don't see any challengers nearby right now. When you come in, she turns to you and says, "Hi, are you here to make a challenge?"
Yeah, we're here to register for one.
Yeah.
And she nods and she says, that's perfect. I can take down your names and a rough time of when you wanted to come in. I will say that Gardenia isn't around right now. She will probably be busy for another few hours doing something.
Is she
but
the
you might
old
find
man
her-
and the henchman?
She does Esme say that out loud?
Yes.
Okay. She gives a little knowing smile and she says, "Perhaps. You might find her around town. She should be, more or less wandering around. And she might need a hand if you're free."
Kidnapping kids?
And at that, she looks a little confused. But then she says, "Oh, I guess you're new around here. No, you'll see though." And she smiles again.
Okay.
We'll see her kidnapping kids.
Okay, make
This is
make me a charm check to not sound like a dick.
Oh no! Wait.
No. Mars is
No?
looking very worried at this point.
Okay, I see. All
Mars
right.
is genuinely concerned because he is
He is a child.
vulnerable to this.
I see. And the gym trainer is going to stop smiling briefly, and she's gonna like kind of kneel down so that she's eye level with Miles. And she says, "No, there's no reason to be worried. It's just something that we do for fun around here." And she will add on, "Not kidnapping kids.
Promise?
I promise." And she holds out her pinky.
Okay. Pinky shake.
Sounds good.
It's okay, Miles. I won't let anything get you.
Her pinky feels very trustworthy.
Yes.
Does it have appropriate girth for a pinky shake?
Yes, it does.
That's going to be the theme for this session. Appropriate girth.
Appropriate girth.
Yeah.
Appropriate girth. You come to a sudden realization about the gym that you're in. It is approximately the same girth as the other gyms that you've come
It
across
is
so
of
far.
inappropriate girth.
Guys, we gotta go. This whole town's girth is fucky.
If you find anything that has an inappropriate girth, you have to report it to the proper authorities.
Yes.
No, what if they have inappropriate?
The girth authorities.
I mean, they're the girth police, so I would hope so.
Oh God.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Okay.
so she
sorry.
takes down all your names, and roughly when you want to challenge. I won't necessarily make you choose an actual time right now, but you know, roughly in the next day or a couple days, kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Well then, yeah. So we'll go. Let's go. Go check out the statue.
Okay, and she waves to you when you leave.
So,
Thanks.
do we hear a commotion up towards the statues? It looks like most of the town is gathering there, or?
Not really, no. It doesn't seem like there's a huge crowd there. And really, there is less of a hubbub than you would have expected in this kind of situation.
Come on, Miles.
As-
I'm not leaving you behind, sir.
Ah,
As we're walking up towards the statue, Lucas is sort of muttering to himself, "Gardenia, Gardenia." So, of course, she's a grass type trainer. She didn't have a chance when she was a kid. He's just like mumbling to himself about how this person's been named after a fucking garden.
She was
don't know.
destined from birth.
Destined. As you pass by, you see I guess over here, you see a pretty, not a huge shop, but it's pretty fancy looking.
What's it, this thing?
Yeah, the bike shop.
Oh, is that where
and
that is?
no, down.
Yeah,
down
like-
below.
over here.
Oh, I meant this big blue building
The
with like a
spiky
Oh
helipad
no,
on
that is something else I will describe in a second. But first you pass by this bike shop, and there's a big sign over top that says "Rad Rickshaws Rides," and it seems a little bit. I don't want to say upscale, but it seems a little bit more trendy than you would have imagined for this kind of town. And there are some flashy-looking bikes outside, but there are also a bunch of like kid-sized bikes. So let me just...
Lucas, look, hipsters.
Bike shop. They spell spikes.
Has Lucas ever seen a hipster in the wild before?
I don't know actually.
They're tasteful, even if they are a little flashy. Bike.
The bikes are appropriately girthy.
Yes, they are.
Oh my god.
They seem to be made for people of appropriate girth. So the funny thing about this building, the architecture is reminiscent of a different building you've seen before. If you recall, there was a building back in Jubilee that had a similar kind of spiky construction. And it is the Team Galactic building.
Oh, the nerds, right.
But this one seems to be, I mean, the spikes are still there, and you know, it kind of suggests who is using it. But there's also a sign on top of the entryway, which makes it seem a lot less, you know, it's a little bit confusing because it gives mixed messages. The sign says Eterna City Historical Museum.
Okay.
Or rather, just Eterna Historical Museum.
Educational.
Bike shop and spike shop.
We need an enter in there.
Yeah. But when you come up to the stairs leading up to the statue, which you can see over the hill, just barely, you see the backs of the two kids that you ran into earlier, along with one other person who seems to be dressed in green.
That's the intelligent solution to this, isn't it?
All right. And there you hear some not quite shouting, but loud speaking from the top of the hill. The people aren't blocking the stairs per se because they're just kids. If you wanted to make your way up behind them, you could probably get past if you wanted to.
But crucially, these aren't the sounds of kids being kidnapped.
No,
Okay.
I don't know what that sounds like. Maybe you do, but maybe you've been on the receiving end.
Lots of screaming. Lots of screaming. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a very strange scene at the top here. Because what you see is a weird guy dressed in a costume. And then two other weird guys dressed in costumes. Let me give you a picture of what the other guys look like. Let's see. Where did I put it?
Ooh.
What the fuck?
They chose some very strange things to have costumes made of.
That is
Are they
literally
meant to
an
be
Excel gore.
vanillish?
What's that?
That's a Sogor.
It's make me a Pokédex check.
It's a vanillite or a vanillux.
It is.
isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
A Vindaloo.
A
Are we looking at the
vindaloo.
same thing?
No.
Are we looking at this thing right
In
here?
the chat.
Oh, in the chat.
On Discord, that is.
Oh. Oh, okay. No, I was looking at the character in the this
Monk.
character
Right,
right
yeah.
here.
This guy also has a costume, but his seems a little bit more snazzy than the two henchmen. It seems to be based on an Excelgor.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not crazy. Y'all are like, this looks like a vanillite, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Lucas sort of makes his way past the kids, looks at what they're wearing, and just sort of looks very bemused at them and just like, what the hell?
And the two kids that Lucas just walked by peek around him because they don't want to miss the action. And Gardenia kind of is telling them about this, I guess, both sides. And while she's doing that, so you hear her basically saying that this mysterious masked stranger is has been seen before, providing or what's the word I'm looking for?
Kidnapping
Fighting
children.
evil. Fighting evil. Yeah, no. maybe the ice cream people are kidnapping children. They have the perfect disguises.
Oh
Do
no.
they though?
No.
I mean, candy, ice cream is pretty much the same thing, right?
Ugh. Yeah.
Offering themselves to the kids.
Ugh.
Oh.
With appropriate girth.
Jesus
Right.
Christ.
They have different girths, but they are both.
I bet they do.
No,
Oh
stop.
my
I hate this
God.
conversation.
What is this?
I don't know. You can make me an intuition check to see if you think their girth is appropriate or not.
I think I'm okay.
You think
Roll
so?
an anal circumference check.
No.
This is being both streamed and recorded for the record.
I think you need to make a different sort of check for that particular.
Oh no.
But the other thing you notice is that they are standing in front of a large statue of Dalga, which you have
Mhm.
seen before back in the
Chateau.
chateau. Yeah, there was a similar, if slightly smaller, statue in the Grand Hall, basically. And one of the henchmen is like standing right in front of the front part of the statue, and he seems to be doing something to it. Meanwhile, the other, I mean, you can't see what it is. I have to describe it this way until you have a better view,
Do you?
whether or not you like that.
Oh, Ref.
Hey, it wasn't me who started that one, okay? It's not my fault that my players have their heads in the gutter right now.
Mhm.
You were the one that
You're
spawned
the
the
Earth
phrase.
man. You're the.
I mean, yeah, look, Rev, you're the one who made the gutter girthy enough for us to get our heads in it.
Yeah, you're the one that mentioned Lyndon's girth. Like shit.
And you guys were the ones who stuck your heads in.
Yeah.
He basically Swirly does. Like,
Alright, but the other henchman is locked in a riveting conversation with the masked fellow. In that the masked fellow is kind of pointing at this guy and saying, you won't get away with this. And the 2-bit villain over here is kind of laughing into his hand and saying, and who's going to stop us? You? And he laughs in a manner that would be much more befitting of a higher ranked villain. And one that doesn't seem very appropriate for his level in the hierarchy, just based on appearances.
I really want Esme to be able to like
and
step
while-
up and be like, let's go.
I feel like we've stumbled into an episode of Power Rangers or something like that.
yes.
Yes.
I think that's what they're putting on. Yes.
I really want Esme to be able to
so,
I just
to
let's go.
To accentuate his claim that there's nothing that the Great Excel Guard can do to stop him, the henchman who's not currently defacing the sign or the plaque sends out a Pokemon. Possibly a little bit predictable. And let's see. The Great Excel Guard reels back in alarm as the vanilla is sent out, and he says, "Oh, if only I had my Pokemon with me. But alas, I think I left them back at the historical museum."
Well, that was stupid.
Jesus.
The kids seem. Does Esme say that out loud?
I think she mutters it to herself.
I see. Let me,
Lucas could probably hear her, but I doubt anybody else could.
I feel like this is supposed to be created for the kids, and we're about to stumble in and like break it all up and everything.
The reason why Lucas has been completely like he walked in, said "What the hell," and then realized this is entirely not for him, and is now silent.
And the kids are kind of enraptured. It seems like they're more enraptured with the costumes, or one of the costumes in particular, not all of them.
Sure.
And less so the the high level of writing. Basically.
High level of writing.
Look, Miles, LARPers.
What's LARPers?
Live action role playing. They're pretending they're peoples.
Well, they are people.
Yeah, but different people.
Why aren't they happy being who they are?
Lucas,
And,
looks,
Gardenia-
Lucas looks down at the kids and it's like, "Is either you guys gonna help with this? Have you got Pokemon of your own?"
And Gardenia was giving Esme and Miles a bit of a look when Esme was explaining the secrets behind the magic. But at Lucas's statement, she walks forward and she says in a kind of a worried tone, "Yeah, if anyone could help the Great Excel Guard out of this situation, I think the town would be very grateful for that." And the two kids look at each other, and the boy gulps as if nervous, but the girl takes a step forward, and she sends out, and she looks kind of determined. She does actually have a Pokeball, oddly enough, and she pulls it out. It seems like the motion is a little less practiced than you've seen on older trainers, but and she almost drops it when she does, but she does press the button and says, "Don't worry, I can help." And she sends out.
How old are these kids?
They're pretty young. They look like they're
Like 5 or something.
not that young. Maybe like 8 or 9.
Sure.
Kind of thing.
Does the little boy have a Pokeball?
What's that?
Does the little boy have a
Yeah, I was
Pokeball?
going to ask if the boy has a Pokeball or
The
not.
little boy does not seem to have a Pokeball, no.
Chance will walk over to him and hand him a Pokeball and say, "Just use Fire Punch over and over again." And he hands him a Pokeball.
And he looks a little bit baffled almost to be given a Pokeball for now, but he steps up too, looking more determined before, and he will press the button on that one as well.
Yeah, you
No,
got
this
this.
can do it. Yeah.
Wait. They need an audience.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh
my
yeah,
God.
no pressure.
And
No
then-
pressure,
then
just
Chance will
all the eyes in the universe.
step back again.
Yeah. So the girl sends out.
Oh, an Apom! Nice. That's pretty cool, actually.
And
Who did you give the boy, John?
I gave him
Meg?
Auspice.
oh
Auspice.
no. Oh
Wait,
no.
Which one's Auspice?
The fire Geodude.
Oh.
This kid's gonna crush these guys.
All right. So yeah, pull out Auspice for me.
Okay. Let's see. I swapped out my Pokemon at the Pokemon Center. Wasn't clear.
Sure.
Oh no, it's still messed up.
Let me actually investigate. Did you fix the No, I think it is still screwed up, yeah. Even in the
Yeah, no, I never fixed it. I was lazy.
no worries. So,
I'll work on it right now.
yeah, no worries. So the Great Excelguard seems to recover himself as he gets these reliable reinforcements, and he says with a triumphant voice, "Aha! The children of the city will be assisting me in taking you, you nefarious folk down."
Yeah,
And,
nefarious.
Yeah, nefarious.
Miles, should we go to the museum and get this guy's Pokemon ball?
I want to see the fight.
Well, Esme can go.
It looks
All right.
cool.
Okay, just don't get kidnapped. I'll be right down the road. I'm gonna go get this
You
dumbass.
said it was safe.
It is safe.
And seeing the reinforcements, the other henchman steps back from what he was doing at the plaque, and he says, "Do you really think that will be enough?" And he sends out a Pokemon of his own. Forget what that is.
Hello, Vanilla Lights.
Heatran.
It's just like fucking wall rain, and it's like, oh, okay.
Okay.
And one of them has to be constant, right? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a quick.
Fire punch, smack. Fire punch, smack.
Can I bring this guy's Pokemon back? Or am I just gonna get lost in the museum for a while?
So when you go into the museum, it seems like nothing abnormal is happening, and there's a clerk who says, "Welcome to the museum. The entrance fee is 50 Pokeyen. Would you like to go in?"
Yes, I have to find a wrestler's Pokemon. I will
Oh,
pay.
She
What?
looks so confused at the mention of a wrestler, but then she'll understand what you're talking about. It says, "Oh," and she says, seeing that Esme is older than the target audience, she will say, his Pokemon aren't actually here, just FYI." But
I've
you
been
are still
deceived.
you are still free to
I've
come
been
into
deceived.
the museum if you'd like.
No.
Fine, I'm gonna go to the gift shop, but I'm going to do so under great protest so I can get my friend a shirt.
I love the idea that Lucas hears Esme go, I'm gonna go and get his Pokemon, and sort of looks around and is like, yeah, under the assumption that Esme is well aware that his Pokemon aren't actually in the museum. And when she comes back looking at it like, I've been deceived, Lucas just looks like, what?
She's gonna bring him back a shirt, though. There will be shirts for everybody. I'm gonna get souvenirs and be sad about it, so meh.
0.58 speed, boom.
I feel like that's probably not accurate, but yeah, there you go.
It's almost
2.
accurate. It might as well be accurate.
So the girl is going to tell her Apom to go over there and scratch the Vanillite. And so...
Nope.
And the Vanillite takes the hit. Its little face scrunches up in a look of distress, and it starts floating quite low to the ground. It looks
No.
like it's quite hurt? Question
No,
mark.
the baby.
Make me an intuition check or Pokemon Ed check if anyone's watching.
Oh, why not? I can suspend my disbelief.
Yeah, it doesn't really look hurt, but it's
Yeah.
kind of that way.
Yep.
And and then the Great Excel Guard says to the girl, "Great attack! It looks like it's on its last legs." And she looks kind of excited actually.
Now kill it.
Now,
Oh no, Auspice isn't really designed for this. He's actually gonna knock it out.
And the first Vanilla is going to. So one of the henchmen says, "Ha! You really think you can defeat us with that Pokemon?" And but he does look a little bit
Genuinely
nervous.
worried.
Yes.
But he says, "Cool it down with a powder snow," and the Vanilla will use powder snow
On
as
who?
Auspice.
Okay.
Okay, so that's 35 points of ice damage.
Yeah.
All right, so Austin
Can I
is
do half
resistant to
damage?
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's 12 damage.
And the other Vanillite, this henchman is going to tell it to attack as well, but it's going to use a different attack that is less powerful. And the Vanillite kind of just turns around and runs at the Apom, almost like a tackle, but with less force.
Yeah.
It knocks the Apom back a little bit, but it seems, mostly unhurt.
It
That's
runs
my
at it.
Yeah. It's Auspice's turn.
bonk.
It was
Well,
like a
he's-
little shaggy
Well,
run.
he already
The
told
little
the
boy's
kid just
controlling
use
it.
Fire Punch, right? So
Oh yeah. So the little kid says, remembers Chance's words, and he says still a little bit unsure, but has some confidence. Tells Auspice, okay, use Fire Punch.
Oh god, Chris.
Oh no!
Oh god, he's dead!
Oh my!
Fatality.
Alright, roll damage for me, please. Oh my god.
Oh no! Oh no!
No.
A new record.
Oh no, Auspice has no chill. They're all dead.
So the henchman is seeing the Fire Punch coming. No, we can talk about this. And then the Vanillite is kind of mirroring his expression, and but Auspice has no chill and punches the
It's on
shit out of
fire
the
after
Vanillite.
all.
And yeah, it looks like it gets knocked back a bit, and it looks like the puff at the top of his head is kind of melting.
Oh
Um,
no!
Stop!
And-
Stop! He's already dead.
It is actually screeching, not screeching, but like it seems to be in much greater distress, and this one does not seem like it's acting. And the kid is like half excited and half horrified. And
Congratulations, you traumatized a child.
but
Appropriate curse.
the great Excelgard will say, "Great work, kid." And he does seem he
He's
shoots
saying
the,
great work, kid, because he's worried he's next.
yeah. So the great Excelgard shoots the henchman a bit of a apologetic look. For some reason, you can't imagine why. But he does try to encourage the little boy, and it seems to do the trick for the most part. But the henchman immediately returns his vanillite and takes a step back as if to retreat.
Now finish him.
And then it's Apalm up again, and then the girl takes another step forward, emboldened by her friend or brother's success.
The murder.
And she says, "Don't let up." She sounds like she's going to make a great trainer in the future. And the Apalm scratches back this way again, and the vanillite falls to the ground. Still looking, mostly unhurt.
Perfectly fine. Yeah.
But the other henchman does return his vanillite and takes a step back as well. The two vanillite-dressed henchmen look at each other, and the one who was the original spokesperson points at the Great Excelgard and says, "You may have won today, but we'll be back. You haven't stopped us." And they both run off down the stairs this way until they're out of sight.
Let's get out of here. This kid's crazy.
I brought you back shirts and hats.
And at that, the girl's Apalm runs back to her and climbs up onto her head. And the Great Excelgard takes a step back so we can see both of the kids, and he says, "Well, I don't know what I would have done without you two." And he kneels down and puts a hand on both their shoulders and says, "You two did great work today. It's a shame that they got away, but I'm sure we'll see them again sometime." And at that time, I hope that people, citizens as reliable as you two will be there to help. And you can't see his face, obviously, but it sounds like he's smiling proudly from beneath the mask. And the girl looks very excited. She says, "Yeah, we'll definitely be there." And the boy seems to have recovered for the most part, and he just nods. And the Great Excelgard stands up, and he walks. He seems to be walking toward the stairs here, but he will say to you guys, or he will say to Chance, "Thanks for the assist."
Sure thing.
And he says, "I do feel a little bit sorry for that guy's."
Yeah, that was
Yeah, Lucas
You'll be fine. Don't worry.
Lucas wanders over to Chance and was like, "That might have been a little overboard."
Oops.
Nobody
And,
tells me that a Pokemon got hurt.
But he has like, in lieu of a cape, he has a long scarf that kind of sticks out on its own and kind of like almost stands up. And he kind of flourishes it as he walks by, and he starts moving down the stairs and away. And after that, Gardena comes over here and says, "Wow, you two will make great trainers in the future, I'm sure." and she's talking to the kids again, and says, if you wanna come by and see some more Pokemon, then you're free to visit the gym, and maybe you can learn a few things. And they both nod, and they seem to be looking after Ray Solgard, and the girl will kind of run past Miles and down the stairs to try to follow him, and the boy will give one last little bow to Gardenia before he follows.
I want a side quest to get that little boy a Pokemon. It doesn't even have to be a good Pokemon, just a Pokemon.
How
Yeah.
many do you have spare?
I mean, Esme's right here, dude.
Esme has literally about 12 spare. Chance has 8.
I don't have any spare. All the Pokemon that I have are Pokemon that I want to have.
Esme could probably spare a Pokemon.
You gonna give him a Pokemon?
I can.
Well, let's talk to him first and get his personality and figure out, like, don't give him a Pokemon that would, like, clash with his personality.
Give him a Haunter.
No.
Clearly slappers, so he matches with his friend.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Chance, come with me. You're the charming one. Wait.
Okay.
Unfortunately, these kids run rather fast. You may see them again, but for now, they seem to have already basically rounded the bend towards the History Museum for some reason.
Okay, that's fine. We'll catch up to him later. I don't remember who Slappers is.
Lucas watches everyone run off, turns back to Gardenia and is like,
Oh,
hi.
Slappers is literally another Apom.
That's
What's
why
that?
they would match.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's the Apom that tried to steal some shit from you back in the forest. The first.
Yeah, I remember that with Murkrow.
He do be thuggin'.
What did Lucas say to
It's
Gardenia?
just hi. Sorry there if they're being a bit rude. I don't know what they're doing.
And Gardenia, so she looks like she's in her 30s, although she still looks pretty young, all things considered. Maybe a little taller than her canonical appearance. But she gives Lucas a smile and says, "Oh no, it was very nice of your friend to lend the boy a Pokemon."
I was going to. We got there first.
And she says, "I appreciate that. We kind of, this is a." She gestures to the city. This is a pretty quiet city for the most part, despite size. But we try to keep things interesting. There used to be a lot of festivals here, but most of them have kind of faded away over time. So we're kind of just trying out some new things.
All the kids like it.
And she nods and she says they do. Mr. Excelgard is very popular with them.
Who came up with that costume? Like,
Which one? She says with a little grin.
oh, I mean, I suppose that's a good question actually. Why do some of them look like discount Frosty the Snowman, and the other one actually has like a real thing going on?
So she explains. Mr. Excelgard actually designed his own costume. He's got a bit of a flair for that kind of thing. So the others, well, let's just say there was a brainstorming session for something that wouldn't, be too realistic or scare the kids. And she shrugs. That's what we came up with.
They did their best.
Yeah, that's fair. I suppose the real spooky thing would be to have a ghost, but half the newbie Pokemon can't even hit them.
And she shudders a little bit at the mention of the word ghost.
Oh, tell me about it.
Exactly. That's exactly what she says. And she says, I can't stand them, to be honest. But she shakes it off and says, "So, I haven't seen you four around here before. What brings you here? Just passing through, or?" And she looks at your Pokeballs at your belt.
Yeah, we were just passing through. We thought we'd stop and challenge the gym while we're here. Looks like we already spoke to your assistant, trying to get on your docket for at some point today.
And she nods and kind of takes a more I guess, confident pose with her hands on her hips and her legs spread a little bit. And she says, "Well, now, I will look forward to that challenge. I will be. There is actually a part 2 to this this little segment, so I'll be occupied for a little longer. But after that, I will be more than happy to take you up on that."
Is there anything in town that we should make sure to see before we challenge you?
The museum was nice. I didn't see a lot of it, and I just went to the gift shop, but it seems nice.
And Gardenia nods in agreement at Esme's statement, and she says, "Yeah, so the museum is actually a I'm not thinking of a lot of words today, but it's been refurbished from its original use. It was graciously provided to us for that in as an apology for past events." And she does kind of word that carefully. But it's been very nice to have a place to put all of the put all the history of the city for those who weren't here to see it themselves.
Esme's gonna drop a shirt on Miles, and it's gonna be like way too fucking big, but hopefully he'll like it anyways.
New pajamas.
What does the shirt say?
Um,
Or what kind of shirt it is? Feeling that.
It's a wife beater.
it's a big T-shirt that says, "I'm eternally glad I went to the museum." I don't know.
That was a
good.
pretty good attempt, actually. For
Yeah,
like,
no, I like that. It's a little cheesy, but I mean, everything you've seen so far is a little cheesy, so that's fine. It's just their style, I guess. You'll have to find out who is the one behind the designs here.
Meanwhile, Esme got a shirt that says like "The Great Isilgor," and it's just a picture of his face.
Yes.
He does have his own.
Miles is going to take out a Sharpie when he's got a moment. Not right now, but a bit later on. And he's gonna scribble out some of the words that just says, "I'm eternal."
Ooh, what an
Oh,
edge
my
lord.
God.
Yeah.
Look, Esme, I'm edgy. Oh, good job, sweetheart.
He's going to draw a little cartoon skull on it as well.
Yeah, I'm bad now.
I will say that while Esme was wandering around the gift shop, she did see some Excelguard merch, strangely enough. There were a couple bobbleheads, some t-shirts, and some sunglasses that looked like his.
Oh, dude, she totally got a pair of sunglasses for Lucas. Here, friend.
Sunglasses.
Yeah, here, best friend. Now you can hide your grumpy facial expressions better. And look
Wow.
cool.
And probably a scarf like his.
Lucas is amusing enough in the art. And so he is more or less looking as he does in his art. He already has goggles and like a bandolier thing. So you bought him like sunglasses and a scarf, and he looks at them like, cool, thanks. But it's just sort of looks at his bandolier, looks at his goggles, like,
I mean, she could have bought him a bobblehead. She probably bought like one thing for everybody. So like, Chance could totally have the sunglasses.
Yeah, so this is more of what he looks like.
Are they like Gurren Lagann glasses?
More or less, yeah. They're pretty close, except they have like a little like spike off each side of the bottom part.
Chance, you should totally shout out the Great Excelgor on your channel. That would be rad.
Yeah, I gotta platform smaller creators.
Yeah.
Rude.
I don't know. Is this like a national like celebrity, or is he just like this local
Make me a general ed check.
eccentricity?
He's like a backyard wrestler turned fashionista.
Okay.
Oh, I totally want to picture the great Excel glory. So cool.
Yeah. So, you haven't heard of him before, which leads you to believe that he is more. And this whole act, you know, the number of people who are here, leads you to believe that he's more of a local celebrity than anything else. That being said, maybe he has a story. If you wanted to talk to him, you could definitely see what he says.
Interview him.
Yeah, no, but I'll rock his shades while we're in town.
Yeah.
Lucas like takes the scarf and like wraps it under the bandolier. It's like, thanks.
Can Esme be cheeky and be like, "Gee, Lucas, you sure are good at like getting female gym trainers to like you."
Lucas looks kind of amused and is like, I am.
Yeah, women really seem to like you.
And Gardenia seems amused by this as well. She says, "Well, I have to warn you that the way I show my love is pretty tough. So if you can handle that, then maybe you're onto something."
Oh my.
Esme's gonna like stage whisper to Lucas like, "Lucas, I think she wants to be your girlfriend."
Esme, are they gonna kiss?
I think they're gonna kiss.
And the unknown move in.
And Gardenia,
Autobots roll out.
yeah. So maybe it's because of her newfound role amongst the Great Excel Guard cast, but she seems to be like pretty experienced in acting. She still seems a little bit. Let's see. She still seems a little bit caught off guard by the suddenly massive audience of unknown that flowed up to
So watch her kiss.
yes, that's the
The
one.
voyeur, yes.
But she winks at them and she says, "You'll have to earn it first."
They all wink back.
You mean blink?
Yes.
Oh wait, no, they've got more than one eye.
Some of them have more than one eye, but they all wink back as well as they can.
So, all right, so we got it now. Let's win a gym battle, and Lucas gets a kiss.
Oh my god, Esme's
Lucas
like so
looks
hard.
like supremely uncomfortable right now.
Lucas has no choice in this. This is happening.
No, Esme's totally like, "This is my best friend Lucas. He was the first human friend I ever made, and he's good. He totally deserves a kiss."
Esme does her best to be like a wingman.
Yeah,
for
like,
Lucas, who was not even willing in the first place.
yeah,
So-
he's just like,
Solar, like, you know how like dogs and cats can kind of sense when you're uncomfortable, kind of like steps up and like stands next to him, looking like kind of concerned.
Solar's jealous.
No, she's more just like, you know, secondhand embarrassment going on.
Miles believes that Solar is jealous.
I don't know this human.
it's like, Esme's totally like,
What is
Esme's totally like, you don't, like, it doesn't have to be a kiss, but he's good. He at least deserves a hug. And then to Lucas, she's like, "It's totally fine. I think April wants to kiss you anyway, so you have like plenty of options."
Should you
They'll
be
get you a kiss,
advising
buddy.
Lucas to play the field in front of one of the players?
Gardenia fucks, like, she doesn't.
Looks like
Yeah.
this isn't anything in character, but why the fuck are we shipping like I can't remember how old I made Lucas, like 16, I think, with a 30-year-old. Just to let that sink in.
It's just a kiss
smidge.
on the cheek. It's fine.
Yeah, so Gardenia seems more amused than anything else. She says she looks at her watch, which she does have one, oddly enough. You might not have expected it of her, but
She's
she
a
says,
boomer.
"Oh, looks like I do have to get running though."
She's a boomer.
She's a boomer.
It's a smart watch, okay?
Okay. Okay,
Not
bye, Gardenia.
an analog
It was nice
watch.
meeting you.
It was nice borderline harassing you
And
with a friend.
she so she'll take a step to the right side, and then she'll say, "It was nice meeting you all too. I'll look forward to seeing you guys later, or maybe a little sooner than that even." And she starts walking off after the kids. And let's see, Lucas, Esme, and Unknown, make me a perception check.
No.
Sure.
Oh, that perception check is so inaccurate.
Whose is?
Mine. Like, my me one. It's meant to have another 1d6 on that.
Oh,
Oh, no, it's not. That's a gold head. My bad. No, that's
So,
correct.
wait, you have 66 in something?
I have 66 plus 2 in a cold head, because I took the
How
thing.
do you have 66?
I took
Oh,
a
you went up.
bonus from the ghost girl.
Yep.
Okay, so down towards here, to the south, near the bottom of the hill, you see a couple of people in more or less casual clothes walking by. Fuck, I'm really gonna go here. For two of them, their girths seem familiar. As in, people you have just seen familiar.
Yeah.
Sure.
There is a third older man who is again dressed in like civilian clothes. But you may have a sneaking suspicion of who they are. And they're kind of just walking by nonchalantly.
Dr. Frost. Amazing.
And yeah, they go over here, and you see them heading off in the same direction as Gardenia had gone, and the others.
Dr. Frost looks like he's in on some shit.
Dr. Frost looks like he's on some shit.
I'm gonna say the same thing.
He reminds me of the guy from Invincible. The tectonic guy.
Yes.
But
Oh.
they all round the bend, and they seem to be going into the museum.
So, are we gonna go watch round 2 of that?
Yeah, let's go watch round 2.
Alright. He just wanders along.
Let me see. While you are doing that,
Hopefully a Selgor guy has given the little boy another Pokemon that we can watch.
Miles, make me an intuition check.
Oh. Yes.
You feel like you are being watched.
Familiar watched or unfamiliar watched?
Unfamiliar watched.
Hmm. Can I watch
Swipe or no
them
swiping?
back?
From one of your sides, actually, probably to your right, as you're walking towards the museum.
Wait, so which way is he facing in this
He's
instance?
facing this way. So
from my
right is
would
like
be over
somewhere,
here.
Yeah.
yeah, somewhere along this.
The unknown are gonna whop over there.
And bat Gardenia in the face.
So oddly enough, they don't see anything here.
Is there any ectoplasm?
Make me a occulted check.
Ooh.
Okay, let me see. So, you do see some ectoplasm, not a lot. And it is... Let me see if there's actually a footprint here. I don't think so. Later gen Pokemon don't have footprints. It looks like two... So it looks like there are some small circles of ectoplasm on the ground. And they are identically sized to each other. And they, let's see. So they basically look like footprints, but they're just circles, and they're pretty small circles.
Esme, there's a ghost.
Oh, should I poke you in?
You can.
Miles will describe as best he can.
Okay.
Damn.
So, as you might expect, there are actually a lot of Pokemon who have small circular footprints. That being said, it does seem like they are pointy feet, rather than like flat, headed feet, because I guess the footprint kind of descends a little further, in a more of a cone shape. So whatever it is, it either seems to be rather light with pointy feet, or it was, since it's probably a ghost, it was like half floating, almost like it was walking on the moon kind of thing.
Interesting.
But it is impossible to tell exactly what it is just from that information alone.
Can we do some investigating, or?
Let's see. So, I will say that you can see that the footprints are...
Oh.
They kind of extend, so let me just draw a path, kind of go like that.
Ooh. Okay.
And there don't seem to be a lot of signs that it was like walking around a lot here. Like it's not, there aren't like repeated footsteps. It's mostly just like a path.
And I throw out my haunter and be like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
Sure, you can do that.
Can I attach a cleanse tag to my scarf?
You can also do that.
Yeah. Oh, I need to make the cleanse tags. I haven't done that.
I think I'm gonna name him Henry at some point, but I haven't done it yet. Henry, can you help out on this one a little bit?
Has almost all of the letters for Henry in Haunter.
He almost does.
Henry the Haunter.
Yes.
Henry Haunter.
What do you think, buddy?
So, let me just put Henry. So Henry does the ghost equivalent of sniffing around, and sees that it is indeed a ghost Pokemon. It seems to have been, and probably still is, invisible. And while you guys have been investigating this, or rather, it was here for a brief moment. So by the time you went to investigate, it already wasn't here. But you see that that actually leads inside.
Did we go talk to Lyndon about this?
He's not a ghost expert, he's a spirits thing, I think.
So he does, as part of his his occupation. He's not a specific ghost expert, but he does interact with a lot of ghosts, because they tend to come part and parcel with the spirits. If you wanted to ask him, he is still at the Pokemon.
Well, it doesn't seem like it's causing any particular mischief just yet, but Gardenia does seem to have a problem with ghosts in general, so...
Well, Chance wants to go inside to watch the event, so... I'm gonna go watch the event. If y'all want to chase down the ghost, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, Lucas is more or less just standing and watching.
Let's watch the event, and then if I spot more ectoplasms, we'll maybe do something.
Henry, you're totes welcome, but like, be chill. All right, don't don't get me arrested.
Okay. Let me see. Okay, so you head inside. There is a counter in front of you, as Esme saw before, with the clerk there. To the left is the gift shop that Esme went into. To the right, you see a couple of displays and a few sets of stairs that lead upstairs. You don't see any of the people who went in this direction, but presumably they've gone further inside.
Okay, walk up to the counter and ask if we can participate in the event just by watching it without purchasing a ticket, or do we need to purchase tickets?
So, she gives you her most diplomatic smile and says, adults are 50 Poke Yen each, and children can come in free.
What's the limit on children?
She eyeballs Miles and says, somewhere around your age.
So do I pay?
It is.
Or...
And she says, I think you look young enough.
Yeah.
And she says, the limit is technically 12. She does eye him critically.
Lucas just takes out 50 Poke Yen, pays, and just wanders in.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to haggle over 50.
Yeah,
Miles
Esme
is-
will pay again.
Miles
I have
is
nearly-
12 and 11 months.
You mean 12 and like 16 months?
Listen, right? Don't ask them.
Yeah, you are past that. Alright, yeah, so she's not going to give Miles any trouble. Today, Miles is 12 instead of 13.
Yep.
And she thanks the others for their patronage. Do you guys stick around to view the exhibits, or do you go basically straight on upstairs?
Not yet. I mean, I at least as far as Chance is concerned, he wants to go watch the event, and then later on he'll get his money's
yeah.
worth with the.
Yeah,
Pretty
it's
much.
not a one-way deal.
Yeah, look through after like everything upstairs has happened.
Sure. So, you head on upstairs. There are two sets of stairs, but then one of them is labeled employees only, and the other one seems to be, to the actual second floor of exhibits. So, assuming you are good citizens, you head up the stairs for visitors, not the employees. And there, when you're about 3/4 of the way up the stairs, you can hear some more commotion. But for some reason, I actually do not think to make a map for this. For now, you're in limbo. But basically, on the second floor, there's actually a pretty wide open area. And there aren't any things that look like fragile exhibits nearby. In fact, the exhibits here seem to be pretty well reinforced for some reason. Like the cases they're in and that kind of thing. You see closer to, I guess they kind of spread out to two sides. So to your right is the Great Excel Guard and the two kids from earlier, along with Gardenia. To your left, you see some familiar figures. I'm just gonna place them like this. Yeah. Okay. So it's kind of organized like this.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get rid of this.
I'm really hoping that the great Iselgor has a Pokemon that he can give this kid this time. Because I'm nervous about continually giving him Auspice. Not only because Auspice is probably regenerated from the wounds that he's already suffered so far, because it's been like half an hour and he didn't get hurt that bad anyway.
But it was good
But
on Letty.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So, but they're basically facing off again. It seems like, and this time, Dr. Frost and his henchmen, and you know it's him because you know his name because he says, "I, the great Dr. Frost, will be taking charge of these relics now." And
Never.
the great Excelgard gasps and says, "No, you can't possibly take these relics, which are the foundation of the creation of this town." And the little girl says, "Yeah, you can't take them."
Super hammy.
And the Dr. Frost will laugh like a rich young lady with an oh ho, 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 and say, "How are you going to stop me?" And he holds out his hand, and one of his henchmen hands him a Pokeball. For some reason, it seems like he can't be bothered to take his own off his belt for now.
What a punk.
And he releases a Pokemon. It is I mean, I can bring you up a commercial break with who's that Pokemon, but
Is it
Right.
Clefairy?
Is it Vanilla Light or whatever the hell they're called? Vanillux.
right now it seems to be another Vanillite.
I hope these things get hazard pay, because fuck.
Sure, they get some ice cream.
But cannibalism.
It's not cannibalism if it's like chocolate ice cream.
Mm.
Okay.
Don't try to logic with me. It's not gonna work. Basically, the great Excelgor or Excelgard will say, "This time I came prepared," and he holds out a pair of Pokeballs, one in each hand. He pulls them off his belt, and he says, Cliffette, I call upon you."
It is Clefairy.
It's actually a pair of Clefairy. I'm judging by the names, one is male and one is female.
And Cliff.
Yeah. And Dr. Frost seems unperturbed by this latest development, and he says, "Ha! You are barely worthy to keep my henchmen occupied." And he will tell his henchmen to prepare for armed combat. And even though one henchman handed Dr. Frost a Pokeball, the only one of the henchmen releases another Vanillite. It may be because the other one actually hasn't recovered his own Vanillite yet.
Oh no.
Chance.
So he's kind of just holding some Pokeballs for Dr. Frost behind him instead, looking a little bit put out or awkward. He's just kind of standing there.
Did we offer him a Pokeball?
You could you just gotta put on a costume, a suitable costume.
I mean, we have like most of the gear.
What, the Vanillite costumes?
We could be like Tourist Man or Tourist Lady or some shit.
I mean, hey, if that's what you want to do, don't let me stop you.
Utterly crush the great Iselgor or whatever and ruin the plotline.
Yeah.
kneel down to Solar and go take the other guy's side. She just like stands, just like runs in and stands here. So, like whispers, just use Umbral Rend over and over.
Oh my god.
It wouldn't
I don't
work. It's a Clefairy.
That's true.
It
Well,
would be
no, it's-
terrifying in a museum, though.
It's neutral.
Aren't they normal?
I'm pretty
No,
sure-
they're fairy type. They were. turned
Oh,
into
they're
fairy types
entirely
now.
fairy now.
Yeah, they got turned into fairy types when fairy type was introduced. They're not normal types
Yep.
anymore.
So,
But I mean, Sola could do that to the Apom if the girl sends out her Apom again. Actually, and she never actually returned it. It's just sitting on her head.
sure.
If we have a big scary dragon, we could send that out. Because the fairies are immune
I've
to
got
dragon.
Gyarados.
The fairies are immune to dragon.
I have Sweet Pea, but I think we would fuck up this museum.
Yeah, I'm not going to interrupt them. Like if they look like they need help, then I'll give them something to use. But
Yeah,
it would
I
be
won't-
funny if it was like, Lucas, you were with Dr. Frost the entire time. Traitor! And Lucas was just like, yeah, mwahaha, or whatever.
yeah, I was a bad guy. Shit.
No, I trusted you. You were my brother.
I'm just like picturing Esme and Lucas doing like this extremely melodramatic thing in the background that's kind of just like distracting from the main storyline that they're trying to do. Where it's like you're technically in character, but you're making it all about like y'all, and it's throwing off the plot.
Yeah, no, Lucas isn't actually interacting. Like he's leaving it be. This isn't for him. This is for the
No,
kids.
This
Esme's
is all-
not like fucking with it either. Even though
This
it would
is
be
all,
really funny.
Yeah, this is all a big what if situation. But if you had done that, Dr. Frost would have said, new recruits. Snap his fingers. And then the closest henchman would have pulled out from somewhere another fresh set of costumes for you guys.
Genius.
I'm down with that.
They're
I'm
act-
kind of
they're
done with it
actually-
too.
They're actually just like big onesies, and they actually look kind of comfortable. They're made of pretty good material.
Rev, you're sounding like you actually want this to happen now.
I don't know. You're free to do what you like.
Mm-hmm. Let's
Uh,
not fuck up the kids' day or like emasculate the mighty Excel card.
Hey, they're highly trained actors. Okay, they have been in worse situations before. Actually, I'm gonna pretend this is the room. So, as I mentioned before, the room actually seems fairly. It doesn't seem like what you would find in a museum. Rather, it's actually pretty well reinforced. There are no displays in the center to obstruct anything, and the displays to the sides seem to be much stronger than the ones downstairs. And even the flooring is a little bit different. It feels more like what you would find in a gym, like on the inside of a gym, rather
Yeah, I was
than
gonna say like a dojo or something like that.
yeah. So it's weird, but you know.
I
they
mean, this
probably-
place wasn't built as a museum, so this room could have had an entirely different function in its original construction.
So the girl will send out her APOM again, and Dr. Frost will laugh and say, "Oh, it seems like we are outnumbered." And he snaps his left hand, and the same henchman who handed him the vanilla hands him another Pokeball. And this time, he sends out something completely different and far more nefarious.
Frostlass.
Oh fuck.
That's actually a legit threat, actually,
That is a legit threat.
because Cliff and Cliffette are going to be using special attacks, and Cragonal has a crazy special defense. It'll be up to Apom to scratch its way through.
And Dr. Frost laughs in his way, and the Cryogonal kind of mirrors his facial expression.
It does seem very jolly.
Yeah, they are perfectly in sync. And let's see, one of the henchmen kind of or the one who's been handing Dr. Frost the Pokeballs kind of looks at the group, you guys, briefly, as if gauging it whether you're going to join in or not.
Miles waves.
Lucas sort of looks back at him and is like, "Do you want me to?" Like it's just like,
Yeah,
he has a non-committal expression on his face, and if you wait for a couple of seconds without really doing anything other than waving potentially, he's going to. So he's standing like roughly behind Dr. Frost, and this is out of view of the others, like from the the good guy group. But he will tap Dr. Frost on the back, as if to give him the signal, and Dr. Frost will launch into the last part of the speech and says, "Well, have at you." And the Vanillites and the Clefairies then immediately launch into a pitched struggle. The Vanillites are kind of just floating around, shooting powder snows at the Clefairies, which for the most part get dodged. And one of the Clefairies is kind of jumping around, trying to dash into the Vanillite. The other one actually is wiggling its fingers and has its tongue outstretched as it approaches the Vanillite, and the Vanillite is keeping a very respectful distance because of that. Which leaves the girls Apom and the Cryogonal.
Fuck
And,
it up.
Miles, their children present.
Language.
She
Oh,
paid,
Miles
Miles is a child too. He paid the child rate.
Yeah.
No, sweet baby
mess-
boy's turning
mess
into
it
an edge
up.
lord.
Running around with skulls on his shirt.
Family-friendly language. So the Cryogonal starts to charge up energy, it seems like. And it doesn't look like, so since you guys are all, fairly experienced trainers, it doesn't look like it's any inordinate amount of energy. Like, it looks like just a normal ice attack, rather than something like Hyper Beam or something like that. But it is kind of being slow about it. And the face, the face turns to face where the Apom is currently standing.
No.
And Dr. Frost says, "You're finished." And the Cryogonal launches the slowest ice beam you've ever seen in your life.
Does it look like it's gonna hit?
No.
Possibly.
Go, Henry.
Wait, no, I was gonna have Miles jump in front of it.
Oh.
No.
Oh god.
No.
Okay.
That just means Esme's gonna walk over and pick up you and the Apom and calmly move you out of the way. You know that, right?
Yeah, so does that all happen? Does Miles actually try to jump in the way?
Yes.
Okay. What does and does Esme try to stop him from jumping in the way?
Yes.
I like the idea of it's moving so slowly that Miles does this theatrical jump, and then there's still time for Esme to saunter across the room, pick him up, and physically move him out of the way while the ice beam is slowly traveling towards him.
She totally does that to him and the Apom, just like, alright, there you go.
So I will say it's slow. It's not that slow. It's slow enough to react to, basically. But it's not like it's hanging in the air for like half a minute before it hits.
Can Esme do a cool anime move or some shit because she's got high athletics? Could she pull in a Mr. Acelgard, the mighty Acelgard, and be like, "No, my babies."
You can strike a pose too if you want.
I will. Should I roll for that?
Sure, make me an athletics check. And Miles, make me a. Well, I guess whatever your best physical one is.
2.
That's what I thought. Okay, so Miles, you are a little bit slow, unfortunately. So you don't make it all that far.
He just jumps and lands on the floor.
I mean, I won't make you fall onto the floor unless you want to, but you basically don't make it all the way.
Sure.
But Esme has the chance to catch up to you and do a cool anime move to stop you. What does
Running in front of you and kicking you in the face so you
Oh my god!
get knocked away from the ice cube.
Oh my god! That'd be far too brutal for me.
Esme would never hurt Miles. Unless he was, like, possessed and about to cut her head off or some shit. No, can, like, I do that and then have Henry be like, small purple friends, come be purple friends with me where there is not ice.
So what do you mean by that specifically?
Like, either turn him intangible or just move him out of the way a little bit.
You mean move Apom out of the way?
Yes.
So the little girl was actually pretty on the ball, and she tells her Apom to dodge it, and like in the anime, the Apom does dodge it.
You just gotta tell them to dodge it. That's all you gotta do.
Just get good.
Get good, scrub.
And
As long as you tell your
Esme's gonna hold Miles for the rest of this fight. Just be like, no, stop.
What?
No suicide dives.
Well, I want to help.
You're helping by
Miles-
cheering on.
Miles is technically a child; he couldn't participate.
Do you want to participate?
Well, no, it's those kids that I want to help.
But you would be putting yourself in harm's way because you're not drawing a Pokemon.
It adds to the ambiance.
It adds to the lawsuits.
Miles is 12.
At the word lawsuit, Exceligor, the Great Exceligard, kind of involuntarily twitches his face towards you before he manages to catch himself and stop, so he can focus on the fight.
Miles, the Great Exceligard needs us to help it on by cheering them on.
I'm cheering.
And at that, you actually hear Gardenia say, "Yeah, the Great Exceligard takes his strength from the voice of his fans," and so the Great Exceligard steps up and says, "If you grant me your strength, then I'm sure we will prevail."
He's
Yeah,
gonna do a spirit bomb.
Spirit bomb.
Here.
yeah. I was
Yeah.
gonna say, Chance raises his arms in the air.
Very sarcastically, like, quick chat, give him your power.
They do the Pepe hand thing. Pepe hands.
Oh no. Will Miles sit on Esme's shoulders for the rest of the fight?
Oh yeah.
Cool, let's do that and we can cheer for the Great Exceligard together.
He does have a
Okay.
big red spot on his forehead where he just kind of fell over.
That's okay, we'll get you a band-aid and I'll get you a soda in the gift shop, it's fine.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Lucas is like, you people embarrass me so fucking much.
Because he's just sort of stood there just watching the chaos unfold.
It's okay, Lucas, I'll also get you a soda from the gift shop.
Thanks.
Um, okay. And so basically the fight goes on, and with your cheering, the Clefairies dive around, and the one on top, Cliff, does actually manage to catch the Vanillite and starts licking it to its abject horror. While the one down here is kind of exchanging ranged attacks with the Vanillite. Powder snows from the Vanillite, and it's shooting like Swifts, basically. Which, strangely enough, not all of them are hitting.
That's a neat trick.
Yeah. It's weird how you can make that happen if you don't aim at them. But the Apom is locked in mortal combat with the Cryogonal, and it is kind of nimbly dashing around, and the Cryogonal is kind of turning slowly to face it. it seems like it's acting like it's not super mobile itself. So the APOM is kind of just hitting it from behind for the most part. Although it has the Cryogonal occasionally lets out like a kind of a burst of cold air, and so the APOM is shivering a little bit, although it hasn't taken much direct damage.
No, get him Lucas, give him your scarf.
Why? What? Why?
The baby's shivering, he's cold.
Uh,
I just love the sound of Lucas deflating like
dear.
But eventually, the APOM does manage to land a good hit, and the Cryogonal kind of sinks down and falls to the ground. Again, anyone who has a more practiced eye can see that it's not really hurt. It's just, it's just lying on the ground now. And the APOM is even standing triumphantly on top of it, which looks kind of uncomfortable, to be perfectly honest. But Dr. Frost doesn't bat an eye. Not at that part, at least. And he says, Trats, I've been foiled once again. And he returns. He snaps his fingers, and his henchman from behind him returns the Cryogonal and the Vanillite that he had originally sent out. And the Clefairy that was licking it looks kind of disappointed, actually. And the other two over here also get interrupted as this Vanillite also gets returned. And Dr. Frost and his henchmen say, or Dr. Frost says to his henchmen, "Come, we shall make our escape." And he runs upstairs.
Oh, we can't trip him.
He can't. No, he's not running past you.
Solar pursuit.
Fuck him up, Solo!
You break their ankles. What do you do
I was
now?
gonna say.
Now you have
Sorry,
to pay
I've
the
been
hospital.
choking this whole fucking time. Excuse me.
Chance looks for opportunities to necessarily get in, like assuming that Captain El Sargor, or whatever the hell his name is, gives us a cue, but otherwise he just kind of passively watches.
Yeah, no, so the Great Excelguard kind of looks stupefied for a moment, but then he, after giving them a suitable head start, he waves at the rest of you and says, "Come on, we can't let them get away." And he runs off in hot pursuit of them at a rather slower pace than you've seen him move. Although you haven't seen him move, actually, so he's not as fast as his costume would suggest. And the APOM actually chases much faster than he does. The kids and Gardena follow behind.
Yeah.
And he did actually wave to you guys as well.
Okay, I've stopped choking. I'm back.
Do we
Jesus.
chase up to the roof?
You do.
Kick him off.
Kick him off.
Oh my
Rugby
God.
tackle him off.
And you see them so there are most of these areas are fenced in. Or actually the entire roof is fenced in. But you see that Dr. Frost has what looks like a Vanillite-shaped blimp at the top of the...
Oh my god.
Are you fucking serious? What is the budget for this? What is the economy of this town?
not a hot air balloon. There you go. Hot air balloon.
Oh, that's better, surely.
I mean, it's just a big balloon. How much
Oh
could it
my
possibly
God.
cost? And he and his henchmen vault over the edge of the basket of the balloon, which is already ready to go, and they turn up the fire, which is kind of strange considering the Vanillite, but suspension of disbelief and all that. And it begins rising, and he laughs again and says, "Ha! You will never catch us." And
Wait. Lucas has a bow. Shoot it down.
Chance shakes his fist at Dr. Frost and says, "Curse you, Dr. Frost!"
Lucas has a Gyarados.
Turns and gives Esme like such a frank look, and is like, "What?" It doesn't say it out loud, but like, turns and just say, "Are you shitting me?" It's just like,
We
no.
have to protect the children.
No. Lucas does not take out his bow to shoot down the no doubt expensive fucking hot air balloon.
I actually don't even think you could shoot down a hot air balloon with just like punching a few holes in it. I'm pretty sure it would still be intact.
Yeah, I don't think hot air balloons they don't collapse that easily. Like, you would have to do some major structural damage to
You'd
the
have to
canvas.
tear
I mean, if I wanted to screw with this whole thing, yes, the answer would have been Solar Pursuit. And literally, like, Dr. Frost just like dies. Then it's just like,
He's an old man. Cut him some slack, okay? He's running faster than you've seen other old men run.
He's hobbling
So
along
what?
with a cane, with a full Zimmer frame.
Sola, kill.
kill them. Umbral Rend and just like rips the entire balloon in half. It's like, no.
Yep, there you go. Lucas is the final boss of this campaign.
It's definitely a super villain. But
I mean, it's clear we're driving him slowly insane. I expect Esme to be like Sephiroth at some point.
oh my god. But yeah, you are all helpless to watch as Dr. Frost and his minions slowly get away. And when I say slowly, I mean pretty slowly. The hot air balloon doesn't rise all that quickly.
Next time, Dr. Frost shakes fist.
Yeah, exactly. And let's see. The girl and the boy look a little bit frustrated at first, but then the Great Excel Guard says, "You may get away today, but the day is safe again thanks to my trusty helpers." And at that, the boy and the girl kind of change tone, and they look rather excited and happy to have been able to help, even though the boy didn't contribute anything afterwards except his cheer.
Chance, you should show the kids on stream so everybody knows that they're heroes.
Yeah, there you go.
That has some safeguarding complications, but sure.
It's okay. In the Pokemon universe, all people who don't consent are automatically censored on stream.
Ah.
It's magic. So yeah, they get away.
They've got one Alakazam working at the equivalent of Twitch that just filters everything with its supercomputer brain.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's the intern.
No,
And,
we need to get this kid a Pokemon. Slappers.
Oh yeah. Do you want to do the talking? Because you talk human. Esme not talk human so good.
Well, I mean, have you told Chance if that's something that you're willing to do?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so after we finish this, I'll talk to the kid.
Okay. So after they make their escape and they fade from view more or less, the Great Excel Guard will turn to the kids and say, "Well, I couldn't have done that without you two." And he says to the girl, "Thank you for assisting me in battle." And then she looks quite happy about that. And then she turns to the boy and says, "You may have not had your own Pokemon for that last battle, but your spirit is greatly appreciated, and I'm sure there will be a day where you will have one of your own." And the boy,
And that day is today.
Chance will look at after he makes that comment, and he's like, "Esme, you have some Pokemon, right? That you're not using? Maybe. Oh, you have an Apom, don't you?"
I do.
we could go down to the Pokemon Center, and if your mom is okay with it, he'll talk to the little boy. He's like, if your mom's okay with it, then maybe you can hold on to Esme's Apom, and the two of y'all can have Apoms together.
Sorry, just real quick. Real quick, I thought Chance was talking to Esme. He was like, we could go ask your mom, and I was like, I don't have a mom.
I was waiting for the kid to turn to Chance and just dead. My mum's dead.
My mum was killed by an Apom.
That Apom points at the girl's Apom.
We're actually both orphans being trained to become the Great Excelguard's successors.
My mum was killed by Dr. Frost's Apom.
This took a very dark turn very suddenly.
Oh no.
But yeah, is he excited by that?
Yep. So the little boy kind of looks towards Chance and Esme and says, "Really? Would you really do that?" And he seems like he's unsure because he's been raised well. He's not one to jump at the opportunity of taking someone else's Pokemon, but since you're offering freely, he can't help but be excited because he is a kid.
Heck yeah, everybody deserves a starting Pokemon.
Slappers is a great Pokemon. I have others too, but Slappers is a great Pokemon, and he deserves to go with a young trainer in the making who will be able to really utilize him to his full potential.
And
Big word.
yeah, I don't know what potential is, but that sounds great. And he turns to the girl and says, "Do you hear that? We can be matching." And she looks away a little bit, and you see her look. So she's kind of hiding a pleased look, but she says, "Yeah, it sounds great." She looks a little bit embarrassed, but the idea of having a matching Pokemon seems to tickle her fancy. And the Great Excelguard will stand up and say, "Well, that's very generous of you. I believe I saw their parents at the Pokemon Center. If you wanted to run that by them first, but I'm sure they would be thrilled." And he looks down at the two kids again and says, "Well, don't let me keep you from a new friend." And the two kids nod and thank Mr. Excelguard, and they look expectantly at the two of you.
Does Mr. Excelguard have anything to say to Chance's chat first before he goes?
Oh yeah, I guess in all the tumultuousness, they may not have noticed like Chance has been recording stuff, and Chance will say, this whole exciting episode has been caught on Chance TV.
And the Great Excelguard will say, "Well, that is a pleasant surprise," and he does actually sound pleasantly surprised. And he will flourish his cape and throw back his head a little bit proudly and say, "Well, today you have witnessed the Great Excelguard and his intrepid assistants at work, and if you would like to tune back in to our next adventure, you can..." I think my power just cut for a second. Can you guys still hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, good. He says, "You can find us at," and he gives a website link.
Oh, okay, cool.
You can find us at, and he opens his mouth and just a burst of binary static comes out.
It's like a fax,
Yeah.
Call
what
a fax
happened.
machine.
All right, so actually in real life, or not in real life, but in game, Chance would go take care of the trade sequence and giving the little boy the Pokemon. but like I really want to explore the museum while we're here if it's of any significance at all. So, but I don't want to keep the kids waiting. So, like, can we just tell the attendant that we'll be back in just a few minutes and go take
Sure.
care of the trading, and then come back and actually look at the museum afterwards?
Yep, that would be perfectly fine.
Okay.
So you get all that done, and the kids' parents. It seems like they are actually siblings. Or no, okay. So it seems like the boys' parents are here, and they've kind of taken the girl along with, like, on a family trip kind of thing. And if you ask, then her parents are also nearby, but they're exploring something else for the moment, and they're kind of just watching the kids now. And the boy's parents seem more than happy to let him accept a Pokemon from Esme. And so that goes off without a hitch, and he seems very excited.
Yay.
Nice.
Alright, so let's put that back in there. By the time you get back, though, you actually notice that Lyndon is no longer in the Pokemon Center.
God damn it, he always gets lost.
Maybe he's actually running away.
Talking to the attendant, did he happen to leave any sort of note as to, or let the attendant know to let us know where he was going?
So the answer is no.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, so he, let's see. So the attendant will say that she saw him look up as if someone was talking to him, although she didn't see anyone. And he kind of just left all of a sudden because of that. But he didn't give any indication of whether he'd be back, and she didn't ask.
Ghost.
Okay. Then yeah, I guess after we wrap all that up, we'll go back to the museum and take a look around, see if there's anything interesting.
Sure. So the museum is, as the name suggests, a historical museum. It actually, a lot of the real estate is dedicated to kind of explaining the origins of the region itself. Basically, it's basically telling there's an area telling the creation myth of the region.
Yep.
But in a archaeological with an archaeological background. So basically, it's like they've had findings that this was what people believed, and there were these kinds of idols or artifacts, or like old plates and stuff like that were adorned or decorated with that kind of thing. And it specifically focuses a little bit more on Dialga, and saying that the city and the nearby forest take their name from the so-called creator of time, because the people believed that it had a greater influence here than elsewhere. And then as you go up, you see that the history becomes a bit more, like basically it's a chronological progression. The bottom floor is mostly this kind of stuff, but then as you go up, it moves to more recent times. And basically, a lot of the middle floor has explanations about how Eterna City itself developed, how it began as sort of a... you could say it was like a small village built around a shrine kind of thing. And it eventually grew into a large city that valued tradition. They used to have a lot of festivals, and it details a lot of the festivals here. But over time, there's still a lot of them are still celebrated in their own small way, but a lot of them are no longer celebrated in a large scale, just because of the I guess changing times.
modernization. Yeah.
Although there are a few that, yeah, there are still a few that persist. Let's see. And at the uppermost floor, so there are 3 floors basically for the roof. At the top floor, it has more recent events, as in like the last 10 years or the last 20 years kind of thing. And it says there is actually a bit about how this building used to belong to Team Galactic, or the Galactic Corporation, is what they were publicly known as. And they are still active, but they, they have graciously donated the building to for this purpose. Despite what you heard before, it doesn't make any mention of the fact that it was done as to reconcile past events. But it does say that this was originally a Team Galactic or a Galactic Corporation facility where they performed research and basically used as a base of operations in the area.
Okay.
That all makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Is the only permanent employee the attendant that takes the tickets, or are there other curators and stuff like that?
So there are a couple of other employees who are basically there as tour guides. You see, I think 2 of them leading some groups around, and it was you were preoccupied at the time, but they were kind of watching warmly from the sidelines as the battle and all that kind of stuff transpired. Probably with the tour guides explaining what the situation was, so they didn't get alarmed or anything.
Mm-hmm.
They are mostly like adults who are getting that kind of tour, as opposed to joining in with the kids.
Gotcha. I'm just curious if there is any
So there are
Team Galactic that are here, or is this just strictly a former Team Galactic?
So you don't see anyone dressed in a Team Galactic uniform, but make me a make me an intuition check. Okay. Actually, maybe should have been perception. That's fine. You notice that the employees have, or at least 2 of the 3, have bowl cuts.
Nerds.
They are not blue, and they're not wearing uniforms, but it does seem familiar.
Hidden
Yeah.
nerds.
Crouching tiger, hidden nerd.
I was thinking the same thing, but I didn't say it. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's cool. I'm still not sure what to make of these Team Galactic. Like, I don't know if they're secretly bad or if they're a red herring and they're actually good. And...
Yeah, well, I mean, if you wanted to ask them, you can feel free to do that.
Right. No. I will ask them if they happen to have seen the 2 people. I don't know. We caught their names, Apollo or something like that. What were the names?
Ceres and
Their
Hygeia.
name.
Hyphatia.
Yes. Close
I
enough.
don't know.
Ceres
I don't know.
and Hygeia.
Yeah, Hygeia. Here.
Yes. Ceres and Hygeia. Okay, that's
Okay.
right. Do they happen to come through here? I'm just gonna ask the person that I speak to straight up, like with no like pre. Oh, are y'all Team Galactic or nothing like that? I just happened to ask them straight up. Have they passed through here recently?
And she looks a little. So this is is this the clerk or one of the tour guides?
It could be the
'Cause
clerk.
two of them have both. Okay. So she will look a little bit surprised at your son mention the name, but she will say, "I actually, oh, so you know them." She says,
met him a
"I
few
haven't seen
times,
them for a
actually.
little while." What's that?
We've met him a few times, actually. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. Very nice kids. A little serious sometimes, but she trails off a little bit before she coughs to regain her part of the conversation. She says, "I actually haven't seen them for a little while. Usually they pop in every once in a while, but I think they've been busy with other work."
Yeah, they're
What do they
eternally.
usually do when they're here?
They're just here to visit. They're actually
They vibe.
so between you and me, they're actually pretty enthusiastic about this history stuff. Even though their work mostly lets them focus on current events.
So they're okay. Fair enough. Suspicions confirmed. They're nerds. But Esme's thinking that bit to herself.
Rude much?
Are you sure that Esme doesn't just think she's thinking that to herself?
No, I think Esme's cognizant enough at this point
Sure.
to.
All right. Well, okay, cool. Yeah, we were just happened to wondering if they were in the area. All right. Well, then I guess we've explored everything we need to explore. Is there any sort of additional parts of the museum that I haven't seen, like a basement or anything like that? That's open to the public. I mean, not that's just like I'm
You're snooping.
climbing.
You're snooping.
I'm climbing over employee areas and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Have you guys actually seen any like weird shit, like ghost hauntings or something in that nature?
She looks confused for a little bit, and she says, "No, I don't think so."
There's definitely a ghost here.
There is definitely a ghost here.
She looks a little skeptical and says, "Is there?
Yes.
I don't think I've seen anything out of the ordinary."
Well, that's the thing about ghosts. They're hard to see.
Oh.
Henry, do some sniffing in your ghost way.
That isn't the ghost, for the record.
No, this is a different ghost.
There's an independent ghost.
Yeah, who don't need no man.
Yeah, she doesn't look particularly put off by the ghost. She does seem still a little bit skeptical, but she says, "Well, if you say so, then I'm sure you have a reason to believe that. I'll let you. I'll keep an eye out."
Go, Henry.
And, so yeah, it looks like the footsteps actually went in a little bit on the first floor, and then they went back outside. They looped back out.
Oh.
Hmm.
Yeah, didn't they end like up here somewhere?
Maybe the clerk
So
caught
that
it sneaking in without paying.
Yeah, but anyway, there's basically a second. So if that was the original, looks kind of like that now.
Sneaky, sneaky.
Oh wait, so they originate over here and go that way. We don't actually know, do we?
Right.
Let's go that way.
Okay, we'll go ahead and exit the museum and Chantal.
Thank you for
Hang
having
out
us.
over
We're off
here.
to hunt a ghost.
Okay. So who exits the building first?
Miles, probably.
Aren't you riding on Esme's shoulders? Or have
Esme,
I put you
probably.
down? Okay.
Esme, Miles is Remying Esme.
No, don't.
Put you down like anesthesia.
No. I guess
So is
Esme is
Miles
out
on
first
top
with
of Esme?
Miles.
So is Miles still on Esme's shoulders, or is he down by himself?
As
walking like the
Miles,
boy- like-
Miles is on Esme's shoulders.
Okay, sure. He feels like he is being firmly grasped. and lift it off of Esme's shoulders.
Miles holds on to Esme's entire head.
I guess Esme just isn't happening. This is just happening to Esme.
So Esme gets some uncomfortable tugging on her hair.
Missy, is that you?
Unfortunately, the hands, or what feel like hands, are rather large, and they kind of wrap all the way around Miles' torso, including his arms, pinning them to his sides.
No.
And
Help.
from that position, he's unable to keep his grip, and he gets carried off a little bit.
No, Esme jumps up and grabs him.
Unfortunately.
Oh no, they've asserted dominance.
No. No.
Miles is 13. He can't be submissive and breedable.
No.
Pursuit. Yeah, pursuit.
No, my baby.
Okay.
Whoop. I guess she just attacks the air above him if he's being lifted up,
Please
or
don't
tries to.
pursue me.
And let's see.
I shouldn't have put Henry away. Come back out, Henry.
And as Sola makes a beeline for whatever this is, you hear a kind of a cry of alarm, and Miles gets dropped, but Sola bounces off a barrier of some kind.
Faint.
I guess Esme catches Miles, hopefully.
Yeah, faint. I'm not even joking, I still have faint. I'm pretty sure that works, right? Yeah, it does. Yeah. The move fails.
Rip.
So let me ask you a quick question. What type is faint? I think I know the answer.
It doesn't care. Is the truth. It's a state. It literally. It is normal, but I don't think that actually matters. It doesn't like miss a ghost.
Oh,
Faint
does it
doesn't.
do
No, so
it
faint
do
is
something
so
different?
faint. Literally, it's a scene move triggered. If a foe uses a move with the shield keyword in response to one of your actions, you may use faint. You may activate faint to cause a triggering move to fail.
Oh,
Faint
it does,
is activated as a free
it does do
action.
something. Sure, it actually does something completely different from the games. Okay,
Yeah, it does.
in that case,
yeah.
that works.
Yeah, faint is just once per scene. That protect doesn't work. Basically.
Sure. Make a damage roll.
Sure.
Or make an attack roll.
Yeah, we'll do. Where are we? It doesn't crit, but I don't miss.
That is correct.
Is the DB correct?
Oh no, the DB should be DB. Oh Christ, what is DB10? Does anyone know the damage roll for a DB10?
3d8 plus 10.
So it should be 3d8 plus 49. Hang on. There you go.
4 more.
Okay. And Sola makes contact, and there's a sound of something like glass shattering as she punches through the protect. And there was a small floating pumpkin thing that had been trying to kidnap Miles. But
I knew I was in
when
danger.
Sola hits it,
Miles
when
is
Sola
gonna have
hits
such
it,
a ghost
it
complex.
it gets punted kind of in this direction, and hits the, strangely for a ghost, hits the wall, and slides down a little bit, although it's still floating so that it's not on the ground.
Does it
It's
look
all
like,
very weird
does it
during
look
physics.
does it look like a threat?
At this point, probably not. It looks like it's trying to run away.
So
Okay.
imagine it's close to fainting, let alone being a threat.
The unknown is staring it down then, as opposed to blasting it.
Yeah, so it looks kind of dazed for the moment. It'll probably take it a little while to get its senses.
Are you trying to kidnap or can I pokey check this thing to figure out why it's being a creeper?
Sure, give me a Pokemon check.
I think faint is actually quite a lot better in this than it is
well,
in the
fuck
games.
me, I guess.
It is. It's definitely a lot better in this.
I
Okay.
guess as makes too panicked
Um,
to pokey check.
Yeah, so I would say that this thing is probably not super common in the flesh, but it is like there are some stories about it, especially roughly around this time of year. And apparently that's just what it does. It's not trying to be a dick or anything.
It's failing.
Yeah, it's not trying to be a dick, it just needs to eat small boys to live.
Yep, just taking you on an adventure.
I don't like that kind of adventure. I want to get out of the van.
It's like Drifloom.
I don't want to be in the van anymore, Mr. Goutgeist.
Sorry, you're on my world right now.
Oh god, Rev,
There's
please.
no getting. But if no one does anything after a few seconds, it will shake its head, and then see all of the unknowns staring at it, give a cry of alarm, and then kind of bounce up onto the cliff wall and away.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't come back. Esme is now hugging Miles very tightly.
Solar, like, or rather, Lucas walks up to Solar and just gives her a treat and it's like, good job, girl.
Sola's such a good girl.
Yeah.
Sola's getting like all the treats from now on. No, Miles.
You said there wouldn't be kidnapping.
I wasn't expecting a pumpkin pedo, I'm sorry.
I got a pinky shake.
Alright.
Not for me! We should probably let
Unfortunately-
Gardenia know there are children here.
Really, adults are bad people who don't keep their promises, as Miles has learned today.
Yeah. And when they play peekaboo, they don't actually go anywhere. Miles has just developed object permanence.
My God,
Gardenia. Gardenia.
truly a child today. Gardenia is not actually like in the doorway. She's like building still.
Sad.
But yeah,
We
Henry, you
I
should
actually
probably...
have. What's that?
I don't know, I'm putting Henry away so Miles doesn't get spookumed anymore.
Spookum. That may be a thing from now on. Spooking them.
Big spookums.
we should go tell Gardenia.
You were going to
Alright,
say something, sorry, Rev? You
Yeah,
have
I
what?
actually unfortunately have some plans today, so I do have to stop on time today. Basically, we will continue next time from here.
Oh, okie dokie.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Excel guard. Look at him,
Yeah.
being a cheesy mofo.
That's not at all what I was expecting the session to go like, but it was fun.
It was a fun
I'm gonna have to,
narrative.
I'm gonna have to get good enough at drawing so I can draw us all in, like, tourist garb.
As all in what?
Tourist
Like, all of our
garb.
characters. Yeah. Like, gift shop stuff.
Oh my god.
Like Lucas has
So,
socks and sandals and a bum bag, fanny pack.
My wife.
You can also make me a. Yeah, make me an. I'm calling for a lot of these today. Let's see. Make me a charm check as a fashion check.
Who? All of us?
Yeah, anyone who wants to.
I'll do
Oh,
it.
I
I'll
don't want
fail
to. I
it,
don't have
but
any
yeah.
charm. But oh, fine.
That's the fun of it. Check this out.
Yeah.
Yeah, check this shit out. Fail.
Rolls a 6 on 1d6.
Yeah.
So, Chance, it's pretty hard to see through secret disguise like this, but Chance sees some stylistic similarities between the Great Excel Guard's costume and the way that Rad Rickshaw's rides, the sign is decorated. For some reason. Maybe.
Nice.
But that will be a mystery for another time.
Sure.
That is a plot hook. A dangling plot thread.
I want pictures of Spider-Man, damn it.
I've
Sorry,
just
those
realised
stylish pictures
just
of
how
spiders.
much like rock there is in the bottom right corner of the map.
Yeah.
Yeah,
is
that's
like
just
A third just rock.
yeah, it's because it's intraversable terrain. You're never supposed to actually go there.
Well, that was fun. Thank you,
This
Rev.
is the- No worries. I'm glad you enjoyed it, even if it was a bit of a departure from our usual. But anyway, I will see you guys next week.
Yes.
Cool.
Righto.
Next
Have a good
week
one.
we go-
Hope your plans are fun or whatever. I'll catch you later.
Go to the gym, and we also go to Rad Rick's.
Bye, guys.
Would you like
Bye.
to? Cheers.
Oh.